The devil whispered in my ear, "You're not strong enough to withstand the storm." I replied, "Why are you whispering, dude? It's storming, asshole!"
The opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
And hello everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Radio. The original broadcast date is August 9th, 2019. This is like 1 month from Scarefest. This is about as close as we can get, show-wise, doing it on Friday nights, doing it live, that we can get to the opening of Scarefest. So 1 month away, and the wheels are turning. I would call it begrudgingly. We still got a lot of photo ops we got to get up online. We got the photo ops. We got party tickets to get up. We're still getting the final celebrity announcements out. Have been like, I would say going to the dentist, but actually I've decided I enjoyed that more than what I've been going through the last 2 weeks. I had 2 celebrity announcements, everyone. 2 decent, right? People, you've asked for them in the Scarefest Facebook group. So these are not just pulled out of a hat somewhere. We had 2 of them, and at 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, before showtime, had to cancel them because one of them won a damned award and thinks he has to go to the award ceremony. So, it's just me and my guest, Mr. Shane Blythe, tonight. Hello, Shane. Welcome to the madness that is Scarefest Radio.
Thanks, Wes. I appreciate it.
Now, everyone, of course, Shane has the podcast Paranormal Highways. A little, I know it's on Facebook Live. It's video. I'm assuming it's audio. I don't keep up with these things. I don't even watch my own show. If I watched my own show, Shane, my archives on the website would not be so far behind. So no insult meant.
No, I don't blame you because I'm the same way. I don't watch my shows. I just download them and put them where they need to go, and I'm afraid to. I've got the world's worst critic, or the best critic is my wife who produces it for me. She'll tell me straight up it sucked, or you need to do this, or anything like that. And I'll know. Okay, maybe I need to go watch the show or not. It changed something.
Well, you see, you have to do like me. Now, one of the monitors is actually gone, but I actually have little sticky notes all over my monitor from the old days, especially when I was podcasting. But I have some. Turn your microphone on, dude. Play your commercials. Talk slower. Don't. Where did one go? I said, quit going. I used to go all the time. So anyway, that's.
Sorry.
No,
that's what I used to do that too. Or hey, well, but I listened to some of the other more seasoned podcasters as I was going into mine, and I've realized that hey, they do the same thing too. And I found out the best thing, just like you are. I mean, just be natural, be yourself.
Well, actually, if you listen to people in actual this day-to-day conversations, it's a really bad habit us Americans have. That's how we speak. We stutter, and I still stutter a lot. I have like there. That's what I do. But I've gotten out of the thing, and now I will say back when I was doing a monologue show, I would go, I forget what my tick was, but it was like I was expecting the audience to answer me on the damn show. And So
That's a good thing. I like watching and seeing other podcasts as I go along, because it teaches me things that I'm doing and the things that I don't do that I should be doing. And I watch the viewers as they're doing questions and stuff, and it makes it a lot of, and I just turn, woo, look at me, I'm red. I'm at a red light. But I watched and seen that a lot of times the viewers will answer a lot of questions that, I throw out, and then all of a sudden they'll come back with a question that I actually have, and it really helps out a lot, because it does seem like they're more into what you're saying and what you're doing.
yeah, that's actually a problem now, because we multi-stream everything. It used to be I had one chat room to watch, and a viewer would occasionally throw out a really good question, whether I had it or not. But now we've got the Scarefest radio site, because if you're going to put all your archives somewhere, you ought to be able to chat there and watch it. So we got that. We got Facebook. We go out on 3 Facebook channels? Yeah, and then I don't even try to keep up with the YouTube and the Twitter. But Anita keeps up with the Facebook for me. If I had to keep up with it, I would just throw my hands up and call it a day.
I don't blame you a bit. It's fun doing it. I like doing it, and the reason why I started mine was simply because there was a lot of people out there that kept asking me questions about the paranormal. Yeah. And it was like, you know what, how about if I just stick my face on there, get people on that are more seasoned, more experienced than I am, let them explain a lot of things that some of these people have asked me, and I'll just sit back and run this podcast a little bit and throw in something every now and again. But I'm just like you. I'll get on there and I'll get tongue-tied, or I won't get, what'd you say? I'll get tongue-tied. And I'll be going all the time when I do it.
I get tongue-tied, except there are some words I just cannot pronounce. I've given up. I'm 50-some years old. Screw it. If I haven't learned by now, it's not going to happen. I guess really my worst thing is you'll be saying something and I will have this absolutely wonderful epiphany of a thought and not write it down, and then it'll roll around to me getting ready to ask the next question, and I go completely blank. And I just, that's...
That's exactly... When I first started podcasting, when it was just audio, I would have anywhere between 10 to 20 questions that I actually wanted to ask. And I learned that, as you're asking these questions, they start filling in all those other questions for you. So now, since I went to video, I'll have 2 questions that I desperately want to ask if they don't say it first, and I'll ask those two questions, and then I'll just put myself into a what do you want to call it, a beginning paranormal investigator's role, and ask the questions that, hey, I know what it is, but then it seems to work out that way pretty good.
My show notes: your name, Chad's name. Sometimes if I have a celebrity and I don't want to embarrass myself, I'll write. But even then, it's like this movies, that they've been in that I want to ask something about. I just suck at making show notes, and if I write too much stuff down, then I'll get lost in it. So it's more fun just to fly by the seat of my pants. And as we like to say in the radio business, I can edit it in post. So which I never do. I never do. I'm out there for the world to see. Now, let's get back up now. Okay. Everybody, by the way, we teased Chad Morin. He's going to be on the show about 9:30 because screw my life. He says he knows he started his ghost hunt. He's doing all the presentation stuff, and he offered in between sentences to come on the air, and I said, no, why don't we just roll this back about 30 minutes? And so we're going to dial him in at the 9:30 mark. So back to Paranormal Highways. Now, how long have you been doing the show, counting the audio version?
Now, the audio version, I think I started in February. Now, I got to working on it, and I had some equipment issues when I started to go to video, and me and the wife sat back and we looked at everything. So we completely redone everything. Brand new mixing board. It's got like how many? What we got? 7.
Yeah, your mixing board is overkill. I saw your mixing board, dude. That's overkill for it. I'm sorry. I thought
that mixing board, but I love that mixing board though, Wes.
if DJ Trey breaks down at Scarefest, he can just go borrow Shane's. It's that kind of mixing board.
I got him covered.
I know where you're coming from. Audio wasn't that hard, and I was one of the first before all these restream things came out. I was one of the first ones that simulcast first to other affiliates, and then I actually simulcast to video. But then once everybody started doing video, then I felt like I had to step my game up, and this is where we are now. But you're right. I have one computer that I own that really handles video well. And I'm afraid to take it out of the house and like to haul it around. Everybody says, why don't you do a remote? And I'm like, because the shit will freeze, the internet will suck. They're just, plus, now one thing, when I'm at a con, I hate interrupting people, because if they're not doing anything and you walk up and you want to interview, then it's like, well, okay, while I'm interviewing him, he might have a customer walk up that wants to, like, spend $100 on autographs. And then, but if they are busy, then they don't have time for you anyway. So I need to get back in. I used to do a lot of it, but I need to get back into it. But, now,
this
go
is
ahead.
Actually going to be, this is actually going to be my first Scarefest with Paranormal Highways, which I'm really excited about. Me and the wife has got set up where we can mobile. I haven't turn left here, and we haven't been able to go live on Facebook yet because we need those 1,000 subscribers. And I want to do live, but I can still do live on Facebook. But I want to do what you're just saying at Scarefest. She's got the mobile cam to walk around behind me, and I was wanting to ask, jump in there like you said, and ask questions to some of the celebrities and stuff, and see if they really enjoy things like that.
Some of them do, some of them don't. What can you do, dude? We're going to take our first commercial break, everybody. We're just going to go on, and I'm going to do my little script here for my first commercial break. The Mystical Fair. The Mystical Fair is Lexington, Kentucky's only monthly psychic and holistic healing arts fair, and it is where I began my own metaphysical journey. But each month, as the Mystical Fair Night offers the best in psychics, intuitives, mediums, as well as a variety of metaphysical vendors, local artisans and crafters, and independently owned small merchants who offer unique and special items. They have a weekend full of free seminars, and you won't find these seminars anywhere else. A lot of these people, this is the only place they do the seminars. They support local. They have local artisans, local vendors, and being a good old Kentucky boy, that's very important to me. Shop local, as they say. So go ahead and make your plans to visit the Mystical Fair coming up next weekend, August 17th and 18th. It's at 1084 Whipple Court in the Employment Solutions building that is just off Newtown Pike. You go down Newtown Pike, watch for Whipple Court. And usually, if Layla's out of bed in time, they have a sign up. Just saying. So, MysticalFairLex.com. MysticalFairLex.com is the website for more information.
What's that?
It's her book of scary stories.
Some people believe if we repeat stories often enough, they become real. They make us who we are.
That can be scary.
Eat it, Harold.
Do you want to see a haunted house?
Some kids went missing, so they boarded it up.
Okay, we saw it. Should we go now?
Who ordered the chicken?
What's that?
It's a book of scary stories. Tell me a story.
Hey, what's going on?
Tommy's missing.
Tommy's name was in the book.
There's no way it's actually connected, right? Okay, what if what happens in the book is exactly what's happened for real? Oh my god. Andy!
Stella!
Listen, you're in the next story.
We're reading it right here.
It's a corpse looking for her missing toe.
I'm afraid that we woke something up.
You shouldn't have taken the book.
We've got to stop it.
Sarah Bellows' book, where the stories write themselves and it all comes alive.
The jangling man is coming.
And that's a little trailer for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This movie kind of slid under my radar. I didn't even realize it was coming out, and this might be opening weekend for it. But Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. If you're local, it's showing at Georgetown. It's the Hamburg Pavilion, AMC Classic. So it's showing around town, as they say. Looks like a really, really good movie. Did pretty good on Rotten Tomatoes. While we were at commercial break, Shane apparently dropped his phone, so I don't even know if he's still on or not. The videos froze, and it's a really spooky picture, though. Put it up there. That's like, Shane, can you still hear me? Yeah, this is gonna be ugly. It happened during the commercial break. The whole fiery crash thing, we missed it. Wait a minute, I'm starting to hear audio again. There he is.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I dropped in a hole.
Okay, we got Shane back on the line. By the way, you was talking about awkward losing your train of thought and awkward silences and everything. FYI, I used to. That's when I learned to always give the station identification. When I was at Live Paranormal, anybody that goes back listens to the old archives, if you hear me say that you're listening to Paranormal Filler on liveparanormal.com, that means I completely forgot what I was trying to ask the guest. Now, how did you... The video's froze. I don't know if the audio's working or not. How did you go from being having the podcast, the show, and then get tied up with Chad Morin and Ghost Hunt Weekends? Yep, he's froze. It's a beautiful picture of him driving. Is he driving?
I think so.
God, he's probably dead already. Okay, we're getting audio back. We're getting audio back. There he is. If you can hear me, the question is, how did you get tied up with Chad Morin and Ghost Hunt Weekends?
Well, I was a private investigator. Well, not really private. I was an investigator that went to a show.
No, this is ugly. This is ugly. Maybe I ought to try to dial him in. He's on a cell phone, everybody, and he's like traveling from Kentucky to Tennessee. He's lucky. He's probably got a landline tied to his bumper and just. So anyway, And I told Chad I wouldn't call him yet. So hopefully the audio will pick up. So while we're waiting for the call to reset or whatever the hell Skype's going to do tonight, let's go down to the slideshow click, and we'll go ahead and talk about some of the things coming up. Oh, wait a minute.
Are you there?
I can hear you again.
I'm sorry, I'm in Tennessee. Did you hear anything about Chad?
I did not get a word of that, dude, except that I heard the words, I was a paranormal investigator.
Well, I was like I said, I'm trying to do it real quick before we go out. I was an investigator about a year before I became crew.
Nope, not gonna work. Not gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Plan B, which was to tell you all about the Scarefest launch party. Let's go ahead and bring up that slideshow. Everyone, launch day. Now there was a lot of confusion when Scarefest said we're going September 12th through the 15th. That's 4 days. We don't have a 4-day con. Everybody said, "Oh my God, you've added another day." No, it's the same day it always was. Thursday, it's launch day. But if you knew how many people said, "Oh my God, I wish I knew you were doing stuff on Thursday, I would have come in a day early." Well, now's your damn chance, everybody. Scarefest launch day. They're starting launch day, that is Thursday, September 12th. The first thing on the agenda that afternoon, Axes, Brews, and Booze. And you know what? They should have called it Booze, B-O-O-S, instead of B-O-O-Z-E, because B-O-O-S, because you're going to be throwing axes with some of the Hollywood ghost hunters. So Kane Hodder, R.A. Mihailoff, and Steve Nappy are going to be at Battle Axes of Lexington. They're going to be throwing axes. You can be on their team. They're going to have 30 spots, 10 people per team. Each team will be a celebrity with a celebrity. 25 spectators. The tickets will go on sale very, very soon. But so Axes, Brews, and Booze, that's that afternoon. I don't even know what damn time. It'll be when you buy the ticket. It's in the afternoon. Then you're gonna go eat dinner somewhere after that's over. Then you're gonna anybody that wants to can head over to the Talon Winery, where there is a ghost hunt that night, which will be right there. There we go. The next banner. You can go and now just because you went to the Axes, Booze, and Brews does not mean you get in the celebrity ghost hunt. Separate ticket. Suck it. But so Celebrity Ghost Hunt featuring Steven and Tango from Ghost Hunters and their new show, Ghost Nation. Now, that will start at 8. Now, but before that, between the time you get there and the time they start the hunt, they're doing this whole meet and greet thing where Talon Winery has created a wine, and it is named after and in honor of Mr. Kane Hodder. And you'll be able to buy commemorative bottles and get them autographed right there. But that'll be going on there. But Steve and Dave, and there'll be shuttle service. I should mention there'll be shuttle service. It's all there on the banner. But Ghost Hunt Weekends is organizing that for us. Tickets and info. That should be on sale already. TheScarefest.com. I believe they've been talking about that on Facebook. I believe the tickets are on sale. Go to TheScarefest.com. Find the ticket office. I think that's what it's. The link says ticket. It'll say ticket. So get that. Now, in the meantime, if ghost hunting is not your thing, or in my case, where I'm sick of ghosts and I think they're boring and tedious and whiny and needy, and have no desire to go hunt them in a public forum, you can come to the launch party at Skybar. Skybar. It's like a block from the convention center. So Thursday, September 12th, we will have a launch party. We'll be giving stuff away, T-shirts, that kind of stuff, other Scarefest swag. They'll have drink specials. They allegedly have an amazing DJ. They told me to put that on there. I don't know the dude, or I don't know who's doing it. I'm going to assume they've got an amazing DJ. And everybody asked for it. We will be doing karaoke. Now, how that differs from other karaoke, I do not know, but we will be doing karaoke, and you will have a chance for the because this is open to the public. We'll have some weekend passes, so if you haven't got your pass yet, or your cousin's coming and you're wanting to get them in, weekend passes will be up for grabs. They'll have the custom wine by Kane Hodder. They will have samples there. Of course, this is a bar. 21 and older people, be adults about this. And I will be there in all of my glory, because that's where I thrive, at a bar on Thursday night. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, Saturday, coming up after the launch day, the other Celebrity Ghost Hunt is scheduled. Now, we don't have tickets up for sale yet, but it will feature the Ghost Brothers and the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. This is a whole rematch thing where it's us versus them, or whoever's damn team you're on. So tickets will go on sale. You'll split into teams according to what your favorite TV show is, apparently. Also, Carrie Kennedy, our own pet psychic that we've had on many of my shows, lovely, lovely woman and very, very talented psychic medium, will be there to tell you what the ghosts are really talking about. Also presented by Ghost Hunt Weekends. We've still shown to be announced on the location. We've got 2 locations, and it's just a matter of working out the logistics. That should already be nailed down, but nobody's updated me because nobody tells me crap. But if you're wanting to go on the ghost hunt, if you're not going to be in town Thursday and you want to go on a ghost hunt, that'll be a good one. Saturday, September 14th. And nothing to do with Scarefest, but in the meantime, whilst we're waiting, August 23rd through 25th at the Knoxville Convention Center in Knoxville, Tennessee, I and any number of Scarefest people will be at Bubba Fest. I do not know who else is going with me. As a matter of fact, just last night, after scheduling me, telling me the itinerary, and telling me that they'll have merchandise and passes and stuff, I got a message last night, "Are you going to Bubba Fest?" And I'm like, I'm on the banner. I'm on the banner. So yes, I am still planning on being at Bubba Fest, 23rd through 25th. So if you're going to be in the Knoxville area, Knoxville Convention Center, not a horror con, but it's close. What can you do? Okay. Yeah, and I bullshit my way through an entire segment. So now we're going to go with our next commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dial in Chad.
Do you feel lost in life? Do you seem to be stuck in emotions that are not yours? Is your home not the sanctuary it should be? Contact Spirit Mechanics, where they take a team approach to your metaphysical and spiritual problems. Spirit Mechanics specializes in aura cleansing, stone attunement, attachment removal, and house cleansings. Spirit Mechanics tailors their approach to your individual spiritual path and needs. Find them every month at Lexington, Kentucky's Mystical Fair, mysticalfairlex.com, or on Facebook by searching Spirit Mechanics, that's MECHANIX. Spirit Mechanics, for your spiritual health and well-being.
Now, if you've been listening to my shows for a while, you've heard me talk about Mark and Shelley James of Akashic Awareness in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Akashic Awareness is a metaphysical healing and learning center unlike any other in Kentucky, with a large selection of crystals, gems, and minerals just as soon as you walk in the door. From that point onward, the journey is yours. They offer a great selection of metaphysical tools, state-of-the-art healing classes, and lectures. Akashic Awareness is a place void of judgment. Everyone is welcome. All belief systems are welcome. It's all about finding self because, as they say, your truth does not equate to another's truth. Akashic Awareness is open Tuesday through Saturday, noon until 6:30, 7 on Friday and Saturday. Visit their website for a current calendar of their almost daily special events and guests at akashicawareness.com. And while you're there, be sure to join their email list to stay current. Akashic Awareness, 328 Sycamore Street, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And just for the record, I saw where they scheduled their next, I forget what they call it, but their own, where they bring in a bunch of vendors on one day, the weekend after Scarefest. They obviously don't want me there, because I'll still be hungover that week. But anyway, AkashicAwareness.com. Check them out, visit them.
What's this?
You folks need to turn around. Pretty bad accident up ahead.
Anything we can do?
You a doctor or something?
Or something.
Nice doll.
That's what you think. Did it work?
The evil is contained.
How could you not tell me you're babysitting for the Warrens tonight?
And we'll be back early tomorrow morning.
Have fun.
Don't your parents keep any creepy stuff around?
We keep it all locked away in a room. It's not good for anyone to go in there. My dad says that everything in there is either haunted, cursed, or used in some ritualistic practice.
What's that?
The ferryman. They put coins over the eyes of the dead so he could take their souls.
What about the doll that's in there?
Annabelle, she's in a case for a reason.
Annabelle is the beacon for other spirits.
Mrs. Moore?
Mom, is everything okay?
Something is happening inside your house, and we're not really sure what to do.
Can I speak to Annabelle?
I'm sorry?
You need to give her a soul, dear. She wants a soul.
Another horror movie playing in the area, still out there. Annabelle Comes Home. If you haven't seen it yet, there you go. It's actually, first of all, it's a shame they waited till so long to get these movies out. But the only problem I have with the movies, the Annabelle doll they used, it looks nothing like the real Annabelle doll. They used this creepy doll for the movie. Annabelle doll in real life is a really cute Raggedy Ann doll. It's very unassuming, if you will. But other than that, apparently the movies are doing pretty dang good because this is like the 10th one in the series. So anyway, Annabelle Comes Home, the local people, Hamburg Pavilion, and 10th Frame Cinema. Now that's something we've added to the show. I'm getting ready to call Chad in, but I'm going to start trying to kind of mix in horror movie trailers through the course of the episode. We're changing the format a little bit after we get through Scarefest, and so right now I'm kind of experimenting to see how I like it. All right, let's see if I can get Chad on the phone here, and he will be on just a good old-fashioned phone. So let's see here. Let's chats. Let's do contacts. Chad, and of course it's not going to pull up, so I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Click that, and click that. And see if he's ready for the phone call. Ooh, it's ringing like a real phone.
This is Chad.
Hello, Chad. Are we done yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got about 50 minutes before I got to turn some lights off, but I got the rest of our crews here, or almost, so I got an extra crew member, so we're good. So I'm at your beck and call.
Okay, well, for the record, you are live on the air. We're in the middle of the show, and I'm pretty sure Shane is now dead in a car accident.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
no,
you know,
well, I guess instead of using him at the event this weekend, we'll just try to ghost hunt for him.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. Pull out one of them ghost box things and call him up, although he's in Tennessee, so the connection will be shitty.
Yeah. Shane, are you with us? Make a sound.
So anyway, everyone, now we're talking to Chad Morin of Ghost Hunt Weekends. He is at the Thomas House Hotel overnight ghost hunt in Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee. I'm wanting to know how any place in Tennessee ended up with Boiling Springs and how they got red.
Oh, well, it's a long story, but the abridged version is back in the Victorian days, there were 5 different types of mineral springs here, and these bath hotels sprang up all over the United States, where people would come to these hotels and boil in the mineral springs, and they thought it cured ailments, and that was kind of big during that time of the century. And all over the U.S., there was these type of hotels and resort areas opening up where they would build these hotels that had mineral springs that were boiling up out of the ground, and they would use them as like therapy treatments and stuff like that, you know.
Was it really boiling though?
I don't think so. No, there were sulfur springs, so they stunk like.
Well, yeah, I know. Dude, I have drank sulfur water. I know all about sulfur water. I got no problem with sulfur water.
Oh, I do. Woo.
Well, yeah, hold your nose. Honestly, hold your nose when you drink it, and it's water. The smell is the only thing. But
I was going to tell people, since they do have the water in wells here, we were going to tell people one of them is full of magnesium, has a lot of magnesium in it, so you know what that does to you. And we were going to do another weekend where you just drank the water the whole weekend. We were going to call it weight loss weekend. And
there you go. I wanted to say Chad Morin's Fat Farm, but I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore. So well, spa day. Spa day.
Insensitive, yeah.
Yes, he's having a spa day. So anyway, okay. So tell us about the Thomas House. Now I realize it's too late to get a ticket for it, everybody, but I'm sure he'll be going back. But Thomas House. Now of course
we got some tomorrow. We got a couple rooms open for tomorrow night.
Well, there you go. There you go. If everybody, if you're anywhere, you can get to Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee. Go to GhostHuntWeekends.com. Click the buy ticket thing for tomorrow, and you can still go. Tell us about the hotel. Yep. How haunted is it?
Well, it was ranked the number 2 most haunted location in the U.S.
By who?
Pretty good. I think.
By who?
CNN Travel came out and did a top 10 most haunted locations in the U.S. and they were doing it for a Halloween edition a couple years back. And I remember when that lady was here, her camera was just a little too much for like ghost hunters. You know, it looked like she was going on a Nat Geo safari or something. Paranormal or a panorama lens or whatever, telescopic lens, and it was just a little much for ghost hunting, you know. And then she was asking weird questions and just stuff that people don't normally, you know. And then she's writing everything down, and then she disappeared before I got to say bye to her the next morning. So, but then right after that was the article. So I was like, oh, that had to have been who that was, because it makes sense after that.
See, I never believe any of this stuff because, first of all, as far as the most haunted place anywhere, depends on when you go. But, and I especially don't believe it from the media companies because there's this big thing online about the oldest business in every state, and they got ours wrong, as in verifiably wrong. So, but I'm sure it is a very haunted place. Tell me a story or two that goes on in the place.
Well, it was built in the 1880s as like I said, the Mineral Springs Spa Resort. President Woodrow Wilson stayed here before he would vacation here. So a lot of notables and wealthy people would stay here. Had about 200 rooms originally. The building burned a few times, and now a cult owned it for a little while in the 80s or in the 90s. And
That's always nice.
Yeah, so that's always a real good twist to everything. So they weren't like a satanic cult; they were more they were called Anzara, and they were more of like an Egyptian New Age type cult.
Okay.
And, they started getting into a lot of fraud stuff, and they just kind of disappeared one night and left the place abandoned. But the most notable haunting, there's two. One is a little girl named Sarah, which we frequently see and hear in the hallways, mostly upstairs in the hallway around room 37, and they think it was a little girl that was brought here to drink the water for they thought she had gallstones or something, and they didn't operate on it back then. And she drank the water, and then she ended up dying at the hotel. And then there's another notable haunt, which is everybody calls him the Whistler. And we think that people will hear whistling. And I mean, we hear it, we've heard it. Like, you'll just be talking like how we're talking right now, and then in the background you'll hear somebody whistling, or you'll hear somebody in the hallway whistling, and you'll just think it's a real person, like it's a guest. And then a guest will come up to us and they're like, "Were you guys whistling?" And we're like, "No, we thought that was you guys." And they're like, "Well, no, it was coming from you." And we're like, "Well, no, it sounded like it was coming from your direction." And they didn't whistle, and I didn't whistle, or somebody else, and you'll hear it. It just sounds real. And during our research, we found out that Mr. Cloyd, the original owner of the hotel, used to whistle while he walked around the hotel. So we think it's a lot of the past guests and owners that enjoyed the hotel, and they're still here. Like, it's still, I think they're just happy that people are here, and there's nothing malicious or evil. The church is a little dark. There's an abandoned church that's on the property, and that just has a different feel to it. A lot of people feel uneasy for some reason, and you would think it being a church, it would feel a little more holy or safe, but a lot of people, it just feels like there's dark energy in there.
Actually, I remember that was something that I read about it online sometime. Evil spirits love to defile religious grounds. That's the whole thing behind that. Once a church goes abandoned, then it's just willy-nilly evil stuff tends to want to move into that location just to give a big old middle finger to everyone.
Oh, I guess so. That makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of like, you're not here praying me out now, Now,
right.
We did have a psychic. We did have a psychic with us one night, and we were walking over to the church, and as we were walking over there, we got across the bridge, crossing the street, we stepped foot on the property, start to go up onto the steps, and then she says, "I'm going to go back to the hotel. I'm not going in there." And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Well, do you want one of our crew to walk back with you? This is, like about 2 blocks worth of walking, and she's like, "No, I'll be fine." I go, "Well, what's wrong? Are you okay?" And she's like, I really don't want to go in there. And I don't think you guys need to go in there." And I go, "Well, are you feeling something?" Or like, she goes, "Well, I'm picking up that they used to talk evil out of, talk the devil out of people. I guess talk it out of people back in the old days or whatever." I go, "Well, that's good, right?" And she goes, "Well, yeah, for the people." But she goes, "Where do you think it goes once it's out of the person?" She goes, "It's in the walls in here." And she goes, "You don't need to wake it up. You need to leave it alone." So I'm like, "Oh." And then, so of course, now I go into the church, and that's all I think about is what that lady said. And we hear knocking on the walls all the time. Like, we hear these weird knocking and popping on the walls, and it's always in the back of my mind thinking about what that girl said, So I'm like, great, here they come, Maybe that's what it is, it's just lingering spirits, like you said, and they're not being prayed over anymore. Maybe they're giving the middle finger to it, and this is ours now.
Well, if you just take it back to basic, this is your basic ghost. There's no place more full of sinners than a church. That's what they're there for.
Oh yeah.
So
to prey on them, yeah.
Yeah, so hey, I mean, It is what it is. We're going to do a quick commercial break. If you'll stay on the line with us, Chad, we'll have you muted so you can cough, fart, or sneeze if you need to. Everybody.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Scarefest Radio.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil. Most of us know that CBD is a cannabis compound that has significant medical benefits, but does not make people high. Its benefits include pain relief, anti-seizure properties, anxiety relief, fights cancer, reduces the risk of diabetes, and it is even used as a sleep aid. Blue Leaf Naturals CBD and hemp products are full-spectrum hemp extract oils. They use only hemp grown in Kentucky, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses and helping you and your family stay healthy and well. Blue Leaf Naturals, created with care from seed to shelf. Visit their website at blueleafnaturals.com. Blue Leaf Naturals, a Kentucky proud company.
Coyote Chris Sutton.
Shamanism.
Spiritual advisement.
Paranormal investigations.
Inspirational presentations.
Bringing light to the darkest places for over 20 years. Go to coyotechris.com to learn more.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Radio. We've got a few more minutes with our call-in guest, Mr. Chad Morin of Ghost Hunt Weekends. Find out more at ghosthuntweekends.com. Now, just looking at your website, Chad, you've got the Battleship North Carolina with some Tennessee Wraith Chasers. You got a Psychic Ghost Hunt coming up with Chip Coffee. Moon River Diner. Moon River Dinner in Ghost Hunt. Brewery, Moon River Brewery. It doesn't say that. All I can do is read. I'm the Ron Burgundy of paranormal radio. You should know that. If it's not on, if it's not right there in front of me, I can't do it. Now, but okay, you've got this company. You're organized. All the reviews are top notch. That you know what you're doing. But now, when you pull up roots and you come to Scarefest and you're putting on our ghost hunts, often do you manage to get enough of your crew to Scarefest to pull it off, or you just sit back and hope that nothing bad happens?
No, I'm really blessed to have a great crew, and they all want to go to Scarefest. That's like our event that everybody wants to go to. All the crew talks about it, and that's all they wait for the whole year. And there's actually like a waiting list of our crew, because I can only give them so many wristbands or whatever or who's going to be able to help at the booth and who's going to be able to help at the ghost hunt. And we just have so much crew that wants to come out and be a part of it that we always seem to have enough. Thank goodness, So, but yeah, we got a really good crew. They love that. We all love what we're doing. We all train together, so it's a consistent, organized hunt and event. And it's always, and our company motto is fans first. So no matter what, we just want to make sure that the fans that are coming out and bought a ticket, or they're there for the event, make sure that they get the biggest bang for their buck, and to be, just to feel like they could either be at Disney that night or they could be at a ghost hunt with us, and they'll feel like the hunt or the event that they're at is the only place on the universe that anybody would want to be at that time. We just want it to feel good, because that's how we started it. My wife and I, Stacy, we went to an event probably about 11 years ago, and it was horrible. Oh my God. We were watching Ghost Adventure, and we saw one of the locations on the internet, and we looked it up, and it said that, you can come out and, do a tour of the place. And I'm like, we just watched that episode. Wouldn't that be cool to go there? So we went, paid money, and it was just the most unorganized, just amateur night, you know. I mean, it was fine, you know, but I mean, it was just not what we were expecting whatsoever, you know. And then we did another one after that, and it was a little better. And I was in the convention business at the time. I was the executive director for the Pigeon Forge Chamber of Commerce, and then I switched over to the national director of sales for a chain, the Grand chain of hotels. And so I was already in that business, that line, you know. And I was like, man, if somebody did this the right way, this would just, you know, they're just doing this wrong. And then that's kind of like how we started it. I actually went to Scarefest it was the second year of Scarefest. We were walking around, and I had been talking about it so much that my wife said, you know, why don't we just put our own damn event on, you know, and quit bitching about it. So I'm walking around Scarefest, and that was the year, I think, like all the Paranormal State people were there, and all the ghost hunters were there. I think Amy and Britt, and I don't remember. I think it was Brian Harnois, the original, one of the original guys.
That was an old one then.
Yeah, it was the second. I'm pretty sure it was the second event. Well, I walked through, and I'm so used to doing contracts with celebrities anyways, because that's what I did for my day job, you know. And I'm just walking down the aisles, and I'm like, well, they're all here. Why don't I just go ahead and do a deal? So I ended up putting a deal together at Scarefest, and that's how it all started. They were all in one room together. I went right down the line. I've got a venue booked. I booked the celebrities right there, you know. Well, I mean, talk to them first, you know, like how, you know, and then ended up putting it all together later. But
let me have your autograph on this contract.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, so it was great. And, you know, that was when Patty Starr had it. And, it was like, we loved it. We've been in love with Scarefest since day one that we've gone. We've always loved it, and our crew loves it. And I'm really honored that that we get to be a part of Scarefest now in this capacity that we do. You know, we help with some marketing. We sponsor some celebrities to come in. We do the ghost hunts. We facilitate the ghost hunts for them, and you know, we just really enjoy it. We love Nicole and her husband, and Layla is amazing. The whole Scarefest, everybody, all a part of it. Love every bit of it. I mean, that's like our thing. That we love to go at the end of the year. Well, we call it the end of the year, but we like that. We revolve our calendar around when Scarefest happens. You know?
I was gonna say, end of the year, dude. I'm looking at November and December here on your website.
Yeah.
So I know how. Yeah, end of the year, my ass.
Yeah.
Now okay. Now here's a little curveball question. No names. I don't expect you to name anyone. But in the past, of course, nowadays you work mostly with your Wraith Chasers because they're your hometown boys there. I get that. But now you work with a lot of other celebrities around, and over the years, I'm sure you had. Is there any celebrity, and you can say this is a yes or no question, not a name. Is there any celebrity that you've had on a ghost hunt that you just short of having to use it to save the universe, you would not work with them again?
Not like at an event. Like, I mean, everybody like at the event are always good, you know. Not really. I mean, there's a few that, I mean, working with celebrities, and it's with any field. I mean, it doesn't even have to be paranormal people. It can be, you know, and you know this as well, dealing with Scarefest celebrities. They get a little diva-ish, you know, depending on like how many seasons they've had, or you know,
whether they've been renewed or not. I'm sure.
Yeah, and
I'm kind of surprised. I can believe the diva-ish. The reason I ask that is I'm a little surprised there isn't, because now some of the people that, not through your events, once again, everybody, I'm not talking about anything that had ghost hunt weekends on it, but I have heard some horror stories from other organizers who had an event and booked in certain stars around different ones, and I've just heard, you know, that they showed up drunk, or they played with their phone the whole time. You know, in other words, they were there to collect their check and go home. And I was just curious if you had ever had anything like that happen.
Not really. I mean, everybody's always been, I mean, pretty professional. I mean, there's always little weird things like, hey, get over here instead of over there, and sign this instead of signing that, and little stuff, but nothing. No, I've never really had any issue. Thank goodness. A couple little small disagreements, like I thought you were going to pay for my luggage, and or stupid stuff like I thought you were paying for parking, at the airport, and here's the receipt for that, or I mean, little dumb stuff. But I mean, it's just a matter. It's a few bucks, so it's not like that big of a deal. But I've never had anybody show up like drunk or I mean, we've had writers where people requested, in their rooms, like specific food and specific alcohol and stuff like that, and drinks, and but I mean, that's typical in any, with bands and movie stars and TV celebrity, everybody gives you a rider and they'll say, I need nachos and a bottle of Smirnoff, in my room.
And blue M&Ms. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you all have weird stuff like that, but but no, never really. No, thank goodness.
Okay. On your calendar coming up, other than Scarefest, of course, everyone, other than Scarefest, is there any? Now, this is a personal question to you. Are any of them? Are any of the locations, whether you've not been to them or you're just dying to go back, is there one that you, in particular, are looking forward to?
I am looking forward to going back to the Battleship, North Carolina, at the end of this month on August 31st. We did one this year in January, and I had zero expectations on anything. We had last year, well, I'm sorry, not last year, earlier this year, we had Mike and Chris from the Tennessee Wraith Chasers, and then we had Steve Gonsalves from Ghost Hunters, and they were with us there, and had a great time, and I just really wasn't expecting anything at all, because I just didn't have any expectations. I didn't really think that it was that haunted, and I just had so many personal experiences that we booked, like, the next day, like Monday when I got back, I called the lady and I said, hey, we got to book another date, because I just had and it was way bigger than I thought. Like, the ship is humongous. You'll get lost on it. It's so big. And I just had personal great experiences, and that was one of the locations that I definitely wanted to get back to there. And I love going back to Moon River Brewery because it's in Savannah, and Savannah's supposed to be one of the most, here we go again, the most haunted city in America.
Now, that one I kind of almost believe the hype, though. That's what you build a city on a graveyard, and shit happens. That's
it has that New Orleans feel to it. It's like New Orleans. Like, somebody could just drop you into New Orleans, and you don't even know what city you're in. Let's just say, and you open your eyes, it has its own energy to it. Like, you're in New Orleans when you're in New Orleans. And it's like the same way in Savannah. It has its own weird feeling to it. It has its own energy, and it just, I don't know. The city is it just feels weird. It has a magical, weird, I don't even know how to describe it.
I understand, because now, of course, I've not been to Savannah. It is on my bucket list. But now I feel that way about Gettysburg. From the time I hit Gettysburg proper, the history of that, take the ghost out of the equation, which I do believe there are plenty of. It's just the history of that place just weighs on you the minute you cross the city line.
Yeah.
So
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. If you can hear me.
I can hear it. Okay. Yeah, I heard it. It just kind of made a buzz noise, but we're good.
Actually, that might have been I've got a window back here that's rattling from my air conditioner. Anyway, we've made it to the end of the show, everybody. Don't forget, we've got 2 ghost hunts coming up. We talked about them earlier at the Scarefest. You'll have one Thursday night that the tickets are already on sale for. You'll have another chance Saturday night, tickets to go on sale. Pretty much the only thing that they got to decide on the venue, and they've got 2 really good ones to choose from. So once that's nailed down, you'll be able to get tickets for that. Chad, thank you for letting me call you up and getting you on the air.
Yeah.
Good luck with your ghost hunt tonight.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. And let me know anytime you want us on. We're always here for you guys. We love Scarefest. And I never even when we're always at booths next to each other, and I never get a chance to talk to you. We're always so busy. You're always doing readings, or you're doing radio stuff, and then I'm over there.
I'm usually playing Gopher is what I'm doing. I'm usually running errands for people and stuff like that. But yes, this year I will be doing my really bad tarot, and I have a funny feeling it's just going to be so hot this year.
Oh, I wanted to get a reading at the Interlight, and I didn't. We were both so busy, we never had a chance to.
Yeah,
I think I said 10 words to you, and we were literally 15 feet from each other.
Yep. Dude, I paid my bar tab doing readings that day. That was a good weekend. So
yeah.
Anytime I can do that, then you know it's winter. Everybody, this has been Scarefest Radio. We're still going. The only weekend we won't be on until Scarefest. We got 2 more shows coming up with a really good guest. I'm going to try to do something from Boba Fest. I don't know what. It may just be Facebook Live, but we will try to do something from there. Everybody, thanks for watching.